model's got a decent bit of hair. It's going to be probably medium to coarse texture with about a medium curl pattern. It's not really tight, mostly back here through the nape of the neck. It gets pretty curly. Most of it though is about a standard medium curl though. The products we're using today is the Lisciare Power Express Hair Revitalizer. We're expecting to get about 50% smoothness out of this hair with this product. Because it's a virgin application, we're going to be cleansing it 3 times, and on our 3rd time of cleansing, we're probably going to leave it on for about 5 minutes, and that way we ensure that we're going to get a good cleanse and prepare this hair for the keratin. So right now we're putting on our last shampoo. We're cleansing her for the 3rd time. This last shampoo, because this is a virgin application, we're going to leave it on for 5 minutes. Normal applications, you don't have to do this with color treated hair or chemically treated hair. I've already brushed her out to ensure there's no tangles, to make it a little simpler for us to apply this product. You want to make sure that this hair is 80% dry. We're going to be drying it next. The importance of that is so that you have at least 20% moisture in this hair so that the keratin can slip down the hair. It makes the application a little easier. So right now we're going to start to dry her with a diffuser just to ensure that we're going to get that moisture out of her hair. You're going to want to put it in 4 sections. You can do 3 to 4 sections. Me personally, I like to do 3 sections. Makes it a little simpler. We're going to start right here with this side, pulling 1/4 inch sections out of her hair to ensure that we're going to get good coverage through this with the keratin. First, we're going to start off with about 2 to 2.5 ounces for her hair. Because of the density and thickness of her hair, we're going to ensure that we have enough product to go through here. It's important that you use what you need and maybe add more as you go. So first we'll start off with about 2 to 2.5 ounces. A little bit of product goes a long way. We're first going to start here, about 1/4 inch away from the base, the middle, and then the ends. And then comb through. The application should look saturated, but not oversaturated. Again, another 1/4 inch section. Quarter inch from the root, the middle of the hair shaft, and then with your fingers, smush the product into the hair. So in this section here, I intentionally made this so it was a little drier. Keratin, when you're applying it, should have more of a wet look throughout, even from the 1/4 inch away from the scalp all the way down to the ends, and especially ensuring that you have the ends covered. When you don't have enough product onto the hair, you can see that the curl pops back up in certain spots. I have enough here, I have enough through here, I hardly have any on this section. So what you'll do is go back through this section. You're going to comb through again to make sure it's straight. And if you look inside here, you can see that it's actually frizzy and dry looking. You don't want any dryness in this hair because that hair will not get any keratin. And when we're finished with this part will actually be the only fluffy part in her hair. So as you can see, it's kind of drier through here. There's not enough product in this. Whereas here we have enough product. It's very wet looking. So we'll go back through. We'll look to where those dry spots are. I have a little bit through here. and of course the ends weren't saturated enough. So with just a little bit of product on my brush, I'm going to apply in those spots. And of course at the bottom, make sure that it's fully saturated. And it gets it nice and smooth. So we just finished applying the keratin. When I'm done with my keratin, I make sure that I'm combing all the way through the hair to ensure that I have no dry spots, that we have full coverage, leaving it a 1/4 inch from the scalp and ensuring that full coverage is all the way down to the ends of the hair. We're now going to let this hair process for 15 minutes, and at that time we're going to go and blow her out. So now we've had the keratin in the hair for 15 minutes. We want to make sure now that we're going to blow dry this completely dry through her hair. Before I get started with this, I'd like to cover the fact of the tools we're supposed to be using. The first thing is that we need a very hot blow dryer to do this. We want to ensure that we're drying the hair completely, that we dry the keratin product all the way in the hair, and that we have it as dry and as smooth as possible before we bring the flat iron in. Now for the brushes, it's very important that you use these types of brushes, whether it's a vented brush, a hot metal round brush, or a Denman. The importance of these brushes are that they have nylon bristles. The nylon bristles won't absorb any of the keratin that's in the hair, so that when we're brushing it through, we're not brushing out the keratin. When you use a boar bristle brush, what happens is the keratin will absorb into the boar bristle as you're blowing this out, and you'll take a lot of this product out of the hair. That's something you don't want to do. Same goes for her styling at home. For the 5 to 6 months that she has this in her hair, you need to recommend not to use boar bristle brushes. It will decrease the time that she'll have with this keratin, and it'll actually pull it out and cause it to be frizzy in a way faster time. So let's get started. So what we've done is we've dried the hair to about 100%. We want to make sure that this product's blown through the hair, and the hair is dry, that you don't have too much of a product feel in the hair. We're now going to use our infrared iTek flat iron. This iron, when we make passes with it, this is one of the best irons to use for keratins. The infrared actually gets the heat to penetrate through the center of the hair, helping us to straighten the hair thoroughly. When I use this, I'm going to make half of my passes one way with the infrared on one side, and then I'm going to flip the iron over and then do the other half of my passes on the other side to ensure the infrared is on both sides of this section. The first thing, we'll go right back to where we started. We're going to section this off in 4 sections. I'm going to loosely attach them because I don't want to have any crimps in this hair, so I'm using a little bit wider clamp here. So I'm going to start here at the base of the neck. I like to use the fine section of my comb when I'm doing this to ensure I'm pulling enough tension and that everything's straight. If you use the wide portion of this comb, what happens is it starts to bunch up at the base and you're not going to get a nice straight section out of this. So my first pass, I'm going to put my thumb here so that I can keep the tension tight. I'm going to bump around her root area and pull. 2, 3. Then I'm going to flip my iron over and just twisted it, flipped it over. 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to go 7 passes with this one. There's my last, 7. Again, the fine section of the comb, just to pull proper tension, as close to the scalp as you can. We want to make sure that we have a nice, even, thin section. 1/4 inch, depending on texture of hair, 1/4 inch sections are about right. The same sectioning that you've used when you were applying it should go into the flat iron. One pass, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For this last one, I'm going to grab all of this hair together. 7. So we just finished flat ironing your hair, and now we're just going back with the iron to ensure that we've gotten every bit of it flat. You can see that we've gotten it all the way straight. There's no kinks, there's no wave in her hair. Now this product's going to set in her hair for 72 hours. No shampooing, no products in her hair, no clips, nothing that's going to cause a hard crease, no bands in the back holding it really tight. The other thing too is if she sleeps on this and she gets up in the morning and she has a little bit of kink in her hair, she is allowed to go through those little spots and then re-iron those spots through to kind of keep her hair straight for the 3 days that she's not allowed to shampoo it. It's not recommended to trim her hair for at least a week so that we don't break any of the bonds that we've created for the hair to be smoother. But in a week's time you can clean all this bottom up and it'll be nice and smooth like this when she blows it out for herself.